Today, I want to speak with you about numbness, the feeling of not feeling. And I want to share with you the journey for me from numbness and into the exploration of embodiment, rediscovering the gift of embodiment. And how it started for me was that 6 years ago I was in a situation where my whole system had been shut down for so many years, like gradually, and I was gradually getting more and more numbed. At this point in my life, I remember if anyone asked me, what do you want to do? Like, just, do you want to go for a walk? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And if anyone asked me, like, what do you want to eat? I had no idea. I don't know. Because I could not, at this point, I couldn't even taste anything. My taste buds were completely numb from not listening. And at this point I started meditating again. But I remember that I got so frustrated every time I was guided through a body scan. Every time I was guided through a body scan and the person would say, now feel your feet. And I was like, yeah, what do you mean? I cannot feel anything. How am I supposed to feel my feet? And so I was, this was just one thing that I was like, kept coming back to, like, what do you mean feel your feet? Because my whole body was numb. And then slowly, like 1 or 2 years after this, I met my partner Mammy. And one day we were meditating together and we were sitting on his balcony in the summer, and I was partly in the shade and partly in the sun. And then all of a sudden this cool breeze came towards me and was just like touching my arm. And in that moment I noticed my arm. And then I noticed the feeling of the shade and the feeling of the sun on my body, in my body. And I felt the coolness of the breeze. And through the coolness, I could feel my whole arm. And this moment became an opening for me. It became an opening to step out of numbness and into an exploration of my senses, a reviving of my senses. And I just really wanted to share this with you, because if you are in the state of numbness, the feeling of not feeling, I just want to tell you that it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. And there lies a whole new exploration, a whole new way of being in the world, with the world, through our perceptions. And our perceptions can help us to wake up. The more we reconnect, it is just the body has forgotten after many, many years of not being listened to because of the way that we live in society. And in general, what we feel is very suppressed. But also it might have been the body's way of protecting us. So if you feel ready to explore and reviving your senses, I would love to share a few, this is a deep, deep journey, but I would love to share what really helped for me. And it is very, very simple. You can do this whenever, during the day and wherever you are, in no matter what situation you are in. And it is to get in touch with contrasts. Because when we get in touch with contrast, then we have, for example, hot and cold. Then we can begin to notice the temperatures that we are perceiving right now through our body. So if you are going for a walk, for example, notice the wind. The wind is speaking to you. It is in direct contact with your skin. And there will be always a way of perceiving hot and cold. When you're lying in your bed at night, just notice, okay, is there any part of my body right now that is cold? Is there any part of my body right now that is warm? And this can become a great opening for exploring all the different shades in between. Because there will always be a point where these two meet. And this is something where we can just go deeper and deeper and deeper into this. So if you are in the state of where it is difficult for you to connect with your body, I can really recommend this. Just observe cold, observe hot, without any analysis, without any judgment, or without asking, oh, but why is it this? But just notice, simply notice. Is there any place in my body that feels cold? Is there any place in my body that feels warm? And another great way of waking up our sense of touch, which is a very, very complex sense that really includes so many different layers of sensibilities. But just to make it simple, we call it the sense of touch for now. And so one thing is that we are able to feel the temperatures. Another great thing that also gets us in touch with perceiving the world around us is the contrasts of soft and hard. So, for example, if you're sitting in a bus and you feel disconnected and you want to connect with your body in this situation, just notice anything around you. Like, notice the seat underneath you. Do you perceive it as soft, or do you perceive it as hard? When you're sitting on the grass outside, just allow yourself to touch it and just notice, without any judgment, without any analysis. Just notice, soft or hard, soft or hard. So in this way, it's a very, very simple way for us to actually begin to communicate through our body with our environment. Hot, cold, soft, hard. So this was like the entrance point for me to dive into my senses, and ever since then I'm just exploring and exploring more and more. So I would love to hear if all of this resonates with you, and I would love to share even more. So if you have any questions or anything you would like to share, always feel free to connect with me and send me an email or a comment below, and we'll get in touch. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for listening this long, if you're still here, and sending lots of love, and see you soon. Ciao, ciao.